Okay, so I'm building a teardrop trailer, and there's been quite a lot of interest. A lot of people have been curious as to how I'm thinking about this whole thing. Like, what design am I going for? What materials am I using? Power, etc. So I thought, yeah, let's go over some of those things. That's what this video will be about. It's freezing in here, God. I got my tea. This might be kind of a long video, you might want to grab a drink as well, so. I just collected a wide array of questions here. So yeah, let's go over them. I brought a chair in here just to kind of think about this space. Okay, what is it going to be made out of? Wood with an aluminum skin. What is the budget? More than 10, less than 20, I would say. Something in that range. It's not really a budget build. Will there be an electrical system? Yes. I am planning on lithium iron phosphate and a lot of solar. Is it going to be off-road focused? Yes. Boondocking, major feature. More off-grid focused. I'm not really into people that much, so. Are you going to build your own doors and windows? Yes. Even though it's like the one major thing people say not to do. But yeah, I'm gonna make acrylic windows and doors, or a door, just gonna be one door. What kind of trailer are you going with? So I bought a 5.5 by 10 foot aluminum trailer, and I was looking for that size because of a couple of reasons that I might go into a little bit more. And when you are looking at that size, your options get kind of narrow. But I like the idea of aluminum because it is lighter, it is corrosion resistant, so you don't have to be on top of painting that as much. And I just think it looks really good. So, how many doors? One door, not two doors. This is kind of more focused for one person, but I'm gonna get more into that later. Generator, yes, emergency generator to charge up the batteries. That's what I'm thinking. Galley kitchen. Yes and no. Kind of both. What is your tow vehicle? My Ram 1500, so it's a truck. Insulation. Yes. So this is something I also have gone back and forth on many times, whether or not to have insulation. But I have settled on yes. I'm gonna do a rigid 1.5 inch insulation sandwiched in between the Baltic birch. So. Are you going to have a sink? No, but I'm going to have water. I do think that a sink makes it too fixed. And I'm thinking about this kitchen in a slightly different way, not in the traditional galley style fixed way. So by having a sink, I think first of all it takes up too much counter space. I also feel like you become very liberal with your use of water. So I'm thinking about some different kind of options, but I am gonna have water, so. Also, this is something that I see a lot of people kind of regretting putting in. A sink. So, is it going to be a bug out vehicle? Yes, designed to be very self-sustaining. Are you using the CNC machine? Absolutely. Majorly using the CNC machine. I take full advantage of that. This trailer will have one door, a rather large door. I'm going to make the doors and the windows myself. And the other thing that this project is going to have is quite a lot of bump outs. The first bump out will be right here. This will hold the inverter, and the solar charge controller will be locked, and you will be able to access it with a key, but you won't take up interior space storing that stuff. Then we have this tongue box area right here. I want to store two things in this area. This Ryobi Generator and an air conditioning unit. Now this is going to be like in a smooth box that looks like it kind of, you know, it's attached, like it belongs to the main unit. And this will have a drawer with drawer slides so you can get the generator out and start it, you know, and put gas in it. And this will all be locked as well, but rather seamless, if you know what I mean. Then on this side right here, we have a rather large window, and we have another bump out here probably. I haven't quite decided on that. But I do think another bump out for additional storage. What's your time frame? This is going to happen over the next coming months. This is why I've been doing so much preparation ahead of time. I've been in research mode for about 6 months now. So I'm not in a rush by any means, but this is going to be like my complete focus moving forward. Like right now, I'm just kind of cleaning and, you know, making room for stuff in the shop. But it's going to be, for the next coming months, it's going to be all Teardrop. Are you going to have electric brakes? Yes. Are you going to live full-time in your Teardrop? No. No, I'm keeping my house, and I'm not sure my family would all fit in this Teardrop. So this is more of a going off an adventure, having fun, relaxing, and then kind of coming back home again. That's the idea. Are you using propane? No, this will not have any propane whatsoever. Will there be plants available? Yes, mostly. Will this be a DIY series? No. I wouldn't call it that. I'm not gonna make step-by-step how to build a teardrop trailer kind of videos. I'm obviously going to share the process with you guys, but it's not gonna be a budget build. It's not gonna be a DIY type build either. I am aiming to do the coolest thing I possibly can, like really exploring what's possible. And I hope that you guys who are watching will find something interesting, but I don't know, maybe you won't. But that's kind of the mentality that I'm going in with this. Also just want to say real quick that this is my project based on my situation and my design preferences and my goals, not based on yours. So my goals may be very different from your goals. I don't think that what's necessarily best for someone else is the best thing for me, because a lot of people have opinions about the only way to do something, that you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way, and I don't really care about hearing that kind of stuff. I'm designing this based on the ideas that I have and kind of things that I want to do. I guess the other thing too, everything that I have gone over is subject to change. Nothing that I've talked about is set in stone. I haven't even really started building yet. These are all thoughts that I currently have based on a lot of research and a lot of planning. But things may change, you know, along down the road. So let me talk a little bit about design for a moment. When I first started looking into these teardrops, I was looking at the classic teardrops, which they're kind of on the small side. They're usually built on a 4x8 trailer. They're very teardroppy shape. Very cute. I love the look. But it did struck me that they're also kind of on the small side, a little bit dark. So there was aspects of that I didn't like. I loved the look of it and the cuteness factor, but I didn't love just like the feeling inside. So I started looking around. I came across the boondocking, the off-grid world, where the trailers are more kind of square drop, more rugged, more, you know, ready to go off an adventure, where you're not necessarily staying at a campground. Much more kind of rough and rugged. I really like that look as well. I think they're really cool. And I love the idea that you're like ready to go off down a trail somewhere, and you have that kind of capability, and you have the supporting system to go with that, with the solar and the batteries and everything. You're self-sustaining. I love that. So that was something that I was thinking about. Then I also came across the vestibule teardrop. This teardrop struck me as very cute, while also feeling very spacious on the inside. It had a lot of windows and a lot of woodworking elements inside, which really appealed to me as well. And then when I started looking at that one a little bit closer, I realized that it's kind of on the big side. It's a 5x10 foot trailer with a 14-foot tongue to trail, or tongue to trail. Yeah, so it's pretty long, but it's kind of deceiving because it looks kind of small when you look at it from a distance, but it is kind of on the large side. So at that point I realized that I really kind of need a larger trailer if I want to accomplish that airiness inside, and I also need a lot of windows. The one thing about the vestibule though, it has that classic teardrop shape, which is very, very cute. I think I really like that. But by having that kind of rounded shape, you do cut down on headroom quite a bit, you know. And then I came across a couple of other models like the Carapat, I don't know, it's a French brand. And they have an interesting kind of shape where it goes more like this, and then a flat roof. And I think that by doing that, you do gain more interior space. You don't cut down on the headroom in the same way. It's a smarter design based on interior kind of dimension, while also looking kind of cute and you know, visually appealing. This one is actually kind of small. The footprint of this one is not big. But I like that kind of style. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of design. Classically inspired, but with a real off-road rugged sense, while also perhaps maintaining more interior dimension by doing the lines a little bit different. Yeah, I'm still working it out actually. I haven't completely decided yet what I'm doing. I think that's the thing about this, like you want to get it right. I mean, often when I do woodworking projects, I don't mind kind of winging it, you know, like doing it as I move along. But when it comes to something like this, there's just so many different things to consider and take into account. Obviously, you're not going to take everything into account, but you can try. So that's kind of where I am right now. Let me also talk a little bit about like the mentality moving forward. When people often, you know, have a teardrop, whether they have one alone or they have one with their families, that they go out camping and they kind of use it almost like a more comfortable tent in some ways, by, you know, the sleeping and the cooking. And when I think about what I want to do here, I think about it much more like an exploration pod, you know, like your own little private universe in there that you can outfit in this really cool way. The way that I think about that is it's really designed around one person, not like take your family camping, which, you know, that's fun and charming as well, but I really want this to be like a individual, like endeavor, going off, thinking, being on your own, relaxing. So I'm kind of thinking about the design inside in a quite different way. Now, talking about bump outs, I want to design this trailer with the point of view of one person. So what I'm thinking about right here is a bed, twin size bed going this direction. You definitely need a little bit more space here, with a little bit of a bump out to gain a little bit of extra space. I also want to get one of these tri-fold memory foam mattresses so you can fold it up and get it further out of the way. Now this gives me more room here to think about the space in a completely different way. Next to the bed, we have what this whole trailer will be focused around. A beautiful, comfortable armchair that you can sit and read in and relax, with some sort of table situation so you can work. So it is a perfectly functional mobile office. In this corner right here, so I really want fireplace. Not sure if that's going to work out, but that's what I really would like. You know, one of those really small wood-burning fireplace, build like an insert around it. Of course, you have to have an exhaust and everything. There's a lot of things that's going to go on with this ceiling, this roof structure. There's a lot of complications or a lot of things that I want to integrate there. And that is the kind of general situation for the interior. The kitchen will be able to be moved depending on if I'm cooking over there or over here. The bed with the mattress can be folded up to gain more floor space when you're not using it as a bed. And the chair can also be moved around depending on what it is that you're doing. The other thing, of course, if you think about this off-grid mentality, is power. So I want this to be completely self-sufficient, very interesting in terms of the battery and the power, where this is not an afterthought. It is very central to the whole build. I want this to be like a little power pod that you could possibly take out. You could, you know, buy some cheap land somewhere and you could go off with this and bring some tools and use this as your battery, like plug your table saw in and build like a little off-grid cabin. I think that would be very neat. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about this. The other thing is a little bit about cooking in the kitchen, the galley. Okay, so traditionally teardrops have this separation where they have this galley, you know, separated, and they have the sleeping compartment. And so in order to cook, you have to go outside. And I love the idea of that. When it is 75 degrees and sunny and beautiful, love the idea of like a cocktail party. It's like a focal point. Sounds great, right? But I also want to be able to use this thing in the cold and the heat. And the idea of having to go outside every time you need to cook doesn't seem that appealing. Like, it makes it not that much fun. I really enjoy cooking, and I want to be able to like do it relaxing, you know, maybe when it's snowing outside. I keep coming back to that. I'm deprived for snow. I want to get some snow. But in order to do that, I need to be able to cook inside. So I'm working on a couple of ideas where I can have more of a mobile kitchen that can be used inside and outside. And it can be kind of moved around depending on what the situation is like. So just kind of, let me just kind of paint this picture. This is what is in my mind, like my kind of goal. It is cold outside. You go off. You have the heat on, you have plenty of power in your batteries, so you can put the heat on, you can cook something nice on your Instapot, you're sitting in your comfortable chair, you know, reading a nice book, it is snowing outside, and you're playing records on your record player, because yes, I'm planning on integrating a record player into this build. That's going to be a whole other project coming up. You have your power, it's super nice inside, there's a lot of woodwork, a lot of integrated lighting. It's also like a very smart trailer where I have like Raspberry Pi controls, so I can have cameras, and I could have like checking various levels, temperature, humidity, that kind of thing. Yeah, I can just kind of see all that, and I want to integrate that kind of stuff from the beginning. So I don't want that to be an afterthought. I want it to be like really integrated into the thing. But like I said, things are subject to change. Those are my thoughts right now. Just in the process of cleaning out the shop and moving stuff around, because all this stuff takes up a lot of room. And just getting ready to actually start working on the trailer and cut out the sections, remove the wood, reinforce this trailer, and then put on the suspension and that kind of thing. But it's like, it's frustrating because everything takes so long. In order to do that, I need to like do more cleanup and get ready for it. But I'm hoping to be there soon. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you are doing something similar. I know that there are a lot of people out there right now who are also doing trailers and vans and, you know, ready to go off and have fun outside. So let me know if you're doing that. I would love to check out your progress as well, see what you're doing. It's really fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.